you're not going to see a lot of bow usage, unlike in NMG. And here we go.
Trying to start off in the Sanctuary, picking up one of those generic spell keys.
Looks like they both start with Sanctuary, then they're probably going to head to... They're either going to do the Houlihan, or they're going to head to Kakariko.
We got a red pendant on Desert Palace and blue crystal at Tower of Terror and Eastern.
Which means our special crystals and pendants are in the Dark World.
Yep. And just like you thought, we got an immediate Houlihan play from Trenter. What he's going to do, he's going to jump in the water a couple times, then lift it at that bush just to the left, and drop in the Houlihan.
Yeah, and this is, if for retro, this is a good play since money is gonna be pretty hard to come by, and you need a lot of money to use all your weapons in this mode.
Yep, because each wooden arrow is going to cost you 10 rupees to fire. Each silver is going to cost you 50. You need at least 200 in order to defeat Ganon with silvers.
Yes, because, well, one, it's hard, or two, I don't believe you can use spin slashes to kill Ganon in this mode.
I'm actually not sure if hard mode disables spin slashes. I would think no, because you can be made to do silverless Ganon in retro, and I think in hard as well. I'm not positive.
Hard mode, I believe so. I thought it was retro that they would take that away.
Nope, in retro mode you can be forced to do silverless Ganon. And I think in hard mode, there's actually a bug in the current version of the retro variation. If you pick up the bow, even without having the wooden arrow item, you can fire wooden arrows, and we're going to see our runners take advantage of that.
I stand corrected. Thank you for the information.
Of course. And the caveat to that is as soon as our runners are going to pick up the silver arrow item, they will no longer be able to fire wooden arrows because of the particular way that the hard mode retro variation handles silvers. You're not able to use silvers outside of Ganon's chamber, so it'll flip silvers on for a second, but then immediately flip it back off to wooden. And since you don't have the wooden arrows, you're not going to be allowed to fire them.
Which makes a lot of sense since it is 50 rupees a pop.
We got our first bottle on Kyong's side.
Yep, some early Mountain Dew, green goo, whatever you want to call it, so you can check the sick kit at the same time. So there's a reason why the sick kid is sick. He just gave his heart away.
Yep, and especially in hard mode, that's going to be a very, very hot commodity. In a hard mode, you're only ever going to find 6 heart containers, and you're only ever going to be able to have 14 maximum health.
Meanwhile, Kyong decided to get some bombs. Not just bombs, but another key, just in case. And he's opening up this... oh, both of them are opening up the corner hut just so they can get more bombs that way.
Yep, that was one of the 4 of 9 possible shops that will have the wooden arrow item and a small key for sale. And it's possible that this wooden hut could have been another one of those random... it could have been a take any cave, or it could have been holding the old man who's got a sword for you.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I've actually watched a retro mode seed from the start, because I'm kind of wondering why they're doing entrance rando stuff right now.
Four single entrance caves in houses that don't lead to an item are going to be instead have a take any cave where you can get a heart container or a blue potion. That blue potion will not give you a bottle though, so do be mindful of that. And as I was saying that, Kyong found the lamp in the bottom of the well, which is going to give him dark room access early on in the seed.
which means we could see maybe an early. Well, actually, they need gloves for Death Mountain. They probably would want a weapon for Hyrule Castle escape.
Yeah, diving the escape without a weapon is going to be a little bit interesting. But we could get bomb strats, and the uncle is going to have an item, going to have a weapon for us, or not guaranteed to have a weapon. I'm sorry, this is open mode. But since we do have bombs, we can try a bomb start. To answer a question in chat, Sprite Michael are asking how many keys have been removed from hard mode. 15 keys have been removed in this mode.
Which is roughly, what, 60% of the keys that are found in chests? All the keys that are found in pots, however, are still found where they're supposed to be.
Yep, as well as keys dropped by enemies, so you're not going to be entirely out of luck. Not finding a hell of a lot of progression lately. I'm going to make a Lost Woods play and see what I can find here. There are 2 items available here for him.
Maybe also check the treasure game there to see if that's another if that's a take any cave or something else.
Yep, that would be a good play from our runners right now.
Oh, that's a nice tree pull, getting bombs there.
Ooh, the cane.
Yeah, I'd crib Phantom Ryu, but that's his shtick, so I'm not gonna do the that's gotta be Kane thing.
Yeah, he does it the best. Still looking for that take any cave.
Let's see what Lumberjack has. Well, Trenter gets the. Oh, I didn't see the item, did you?
Just your piece of heart.
So vanilla, bleh.
And there's our take any cave. Kyong making the decision to take the heart container, which is a good idea in hard mode.
Considering what you said about only having 14 hearts max, yes. And with that Red King, Kyong is gonna go to escape right now, which is a good idea. Except he needs some magic first.
He's guaranteed to get a quarter magic bar refill in the Uncle Sewer.
Yes, I believe one of the pots here has one.
2 pots. The 2 pots next to the chest have small decanters.
Yeah, looks like Uncle gave up his inheritance money.
And Kyong finding out something very, very specific about hard mode. The boomerang will no longer stun enemies in the hard mode.
Meanwhile, we had the fighter sword in a French vanilla location.
Yep, so that's immediately going to give Kyong a good ability to complete the escape sequence.
Yeah, so remember what I said about the needing magic? That's thrown out the window.
Hard mode is actually going to have a couple of different effects in this race. We're not going to see anything higher than Tempered Sword or anything higher than Blue Mel today.
Shoot, you go ahead, because I nearly lost my thought, except Kyong just found the hook shot, so that's cool.
That's going to be very useful for him. And in hard mode, the hook shot does still stun enemies, so he can use that in place of this boomerang. In addition, hard mode removes half magic from the item pool. Potions will only refill half your health, or half your magic and 7 hearts, unless you're in Spike Cave, in which case they will have their full effect.
Yes, the developers, or programmers and developers deemed it a little too harsh to have that same hard mode effect happen in Spike Cave, if it's necessary.
Yeah, because the Spike Cave is a little bit of a pain to do if you're on that restriction. Kyong about to deal with the Fallen Chain Guard very easily. Vanilla fight, but he knows how to do it.
Also setting up for a Death Warp, and since they don't have a fairy in a bottle, they're not going to have any issues with this reviving them.
Yeah, it's never any fun to try to set up a Death Warp and then either A, realize you have a fairy in a bottle, or B, pick up your 4th heart piece and get an instant refill.
So I have a question for you. Now that Kyung is going to the sewers, do you think he should burn a key to get to the back escape if there are no gloves at the Dark Cross chest?
That's a very interesting question. Because in the back of escape, we have 3 items to get, but and it looks like Kyung is going to go ahead and opt to do that. We have 3 items available in the back of escape, but you can get to it through the back way if you have the gloves. Kyung looking to burn a key means that he's counting on there being valuable items back here. And we're about to see if he's going to be rewarded for that play.
And let's see what we get here. Heart piece, and boots!
I would consider that definitely a reward for the play. The boots are going to be very, very useful. Anytime you can move faster, that's time you're gaining on your opponent.
Yep, time to turn into Sonic. To answer your question, Jack, how does this work with the keys? Keys can be used anywhere and in any dungeon. You can also buy keys, which is at 100 rupees a piece. So basically, we're playing it like this is basically Zelda 1 mode in A Link to the Past.
Hence why the variation is called retro mode. And the gloves.
So we didn't really need to burn that key, so it looks like I think Trenter did the same thing. Burn the key to get his boots now.
Yep. So Kyong92 and Trenter are going to be a key down from where they could possibly be, but it's probably not gonna affect our runners too much.
Yeah, they have pretty decent rupee counts right now, despite needing to use it for Zora, Kiki, and Diggy Game later.
Yep. And to remind chat, retro mode includes there are single entrance caves that don't hold any single entrance caves and houses that don't hold anything. The 4 of those item locations are going to be replaced with a take any cave, where you can get a heart container or a blue potion, and one of those entrances is going to have the old man from Zelda 1 who's going to have a sword for you.
Meanwhile, Kyung, the only things that he found in Mini Moldar Cave was just the big hearts, the only good ones, a big heart plus the ether medallion.
Yep, and that ether medallion could be very useful. It's going to be required for one of the dungeons, or it possibly could be.
Or possibly none.
Or possibly none.
So I guess Kyung forgot that both sides of Ice Rock Cave don't change in the take any thing. And only big 20 at big 20 at Ice Rock Cave.
Yep. this does mean that future single entrance caves are more likely to be valuable. Like right side Mr. Meyer shed is very likely to have a take any cave of the old man for us.
Now, wouldn't that be a troll if that's where the sword is?
That would be interesting if an extra sword were hiding there.
Let's see
Sitting
what
in the backside. Junk except for the bottle.
Just the bee torp in the bottle. Didn't know he was a beekeeper.
Moonlighting, I guess. Gotta do something when you're out there.
So, kind of interesting that Kyong didn't go and check out Eastern, but I'm assuming he's just checking Bonk Rocks and gonna go up to Death Mountain with his gear right now.
Yep, with the gloves and the lamp, and especially the hook shot, Death Mountain is a very attractive play right now because you can get to the east side.
Yep, that'll be 1, 2. That's 7. Oh shoot. 10 locations he can check right now. And yeah, just 10 locations he can check right now.
Looks like we're gonna see Fake Flipper up to Zora and Hobo. Or Water Walk to Fake Flipper eventually, yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. I believe it was 11 No. Yeah, 11 locations. I forgot Old Man. I forgot Spiral. Oh, nice! Silver's ready for Kyong.
Silver's ready for Kyong, and the Ice Rod for Trenter. Trenter's gonna...
Go ahead.
Trenter's gonna go ahead and burn 500 rupees to see what the Scamfish has for us today.
And apparently we both missed it, but I think Shovel might have been on Lake Hylia item.
Shovel was indeed there. Kyong finding the Master Sword and the, specifically version 30, the telepathic hint tiles that normally Sahasrara talks to Link over, are going to have item hints for us today.
And we have a Moon Pearl on the top of Spectacle Rock. So I think Kyong will be hoping for a hammer or mirror very soon.
Yep, he's gonna need that. He's gonna need that mirror because I don't think there's a way to access the top of Spectacle Rock without the mirror. Which means enforce bunny mode.
Just like vanilla in the vanilla area. Got a bug net and 5 rupees in the first part of Paradox Cave.
And that bug net is going to be more or less useless to us in this mode because you cannot catch cherries using the bug net in hard.
Yes, hard mode, dude.
Oh! Paradox Cave of Value.
I'd say Hype Cave moved again.
That cave just likes moving around. But we're probably going to see Kyong dive right for that Moon Pearl.
And up to Hera and also the Ether tab as well.
Yep. Death Mountain just became the place to be.
And Trenter will be following his footsteps there. Oh, let's see. We got 5-6 Crystal and Pod and TR. I didn't see where the green pendant was.
Green pendants in Swamp Palace. Blue crystals all down the left-hand side. So Skullwoods, T-Sound, and Mizermeyer all blue.
That's a bit of a trolly green crystal. Meanwhile, Kyong gets the fighter shield from Ethertab.
Yep. Not really that useful, but Ethertab was not one of those locations that you want to pass up if you can go get it quickly.
See, nothing in the first half of Hera basement. Let's see what the hint says. Yes, game, we're gonna do that soon enough.
I love hint tiles like that. So you do get junk hits in version 30. They will be identified by the color green and Link's head in the bottom corner.
Link's head became a Kappa head in this, basically.
Not only that, but for those users who happen to be colorblind, they may not be able to see that the green color is there. So the Link head is a more visual indicator.
That makes sense. Never knew that.
It's the same reason why the heart colors have changed. On Trencher's side, we have the green and blue hearts in addition to the standard red, in deference to our colorblind community.
Yes, I believe that was a requested feature for last year. Oh, what are toes? Flippers in the basement. That was a good find for Kyong.
Yep. And it's deep enough in the sea that we already had our holy hand check, so that's useful.
I was actually kind of wondering if Kyung should have checked that basement chest, but then again, this is retro mode. You don't necessarily have keys. You might as well check everything. Thanks, game. We just found that out earlier.
I've seen some really trolly hints like that.
No, I tracked the race where they found the boots, and then the hint out next room said the boots were in that same dungeon. I'm like, that was just too funny.
I watched a race where the flippers were sitting on the floating island, and then they dipped the front end of Turtle Rock, and the hint said the flippers were in plain sight.
Yeah, those troll hints are very funny. Speaking of trolls, Troll Dorm wasn't very trolly. He gives up his clothes, the shirt off his back. Wait, where is his back?
That's a good question. Technically, it's all his back, isn't it? But that blue mail is going to be the only mail our runners are going to find this seed, and it's going to cut damage in half, which is very, very useful, especially with the restricted heart count we're working with.
Meanwhile, we got a little Super Bunny strat from Trentar, who forgot that this isn't the right way to do that. Or rather, he went the wrong way.
Kyung finding another of the expanded inventory shops and buying that wooden arrow.
Yeah, he bought wooden arrows and a couple of keys, maybe one more? Yeah, looks like it. Meanwhile, Super Bunny Gate didn't have anything worth.
No, but it's a good check, and it's curious that Trenter didn't immediately jump for Moon Pearl when he saw it before, but he's gonna loop back and take care of it right now, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a little weird on the routing, but he knows it's there, so it's not too much of a big deal. Let's see what Turtle Rock requires. It requires Quake, so Ether not useful yet.
Nope. Still looking for that quack. Don't know what Meyer is yet. Kyong making the play to the Hookshot Cave, which is 4 items. It's going to be a very useful check. Except it kind of isn't because we only got a small key out of it and a bunch of money.
Yeah, that Hookshot Cave kind of wasn't good.
To answer a question in chat, no, the Eastern Palace boss can be defeated with any weapon. It's just that the bow is going to be your more efficient option.
I mean, technically you can beat the Armos with Boomerang, but one, that's going to take forever. Two, I don't think that works in hard mode.
Ooh, and Trent are bullying himself down the hole. As far as Boomerang's defeating Armos Knights in hard mode, I think that still functions. And to answer another question in chat, the reason that Trenter was able to open chests as Bunny when normally you're not able to is because of a partial mode reset. When Bunny Link falls down a hole, you're not typically supposed to do that, so the game kind of gets confused and allows Bunny Link to do a couple things, one of which is opening chests.
Yeah, it's a little quirk of A Link to the Past. They didn't. There's just a few things that just didn't go through the QA, shall we say.
A few things. There's more spaghetti in this game's code than a Clint Eastwood movie.
Nothing so far for Skull, and Trolldorm not being a troll today, again. I'm assuming Kyong got a mirror from here? Yep, he does. If anybody's wondering, what Kyong did was he took the key from that specific room that's forced the key, so he can use it somewhere else.
Yep, that room will always have a small key because it's possible to lock yourself if there's no key. If there's no key there and you don't happen to have a key, and the randomizer logic in this mode will always assume that you use your key in literally the dumbest way possible. So it will always fill the dungeons with keys in such a way that you can't lock yourself.
So it looks like Skull Woods was a bone drive for items for the time being. Kyong's gonna check north side of Hyrule, Bumper Cave has just a big 20.
Unfortunate, but good because we don't have the cape. But we're gonna get our graveyard and King's Tomb checked now.
I'm curious why Kyong passed up Dark Sanctuary. When he is that a room that doesn't change?
It's a single entrance cave that doesn't have an item, so I assume that it could be, it could host a Take Any cave. He might check it on the way back.
True, he does still want to go to the Village of Outcast, I would assume. Let's see what King's Tomb have, and it's just a piece of heart. Is that why the king died?
It's possible. I mean, you never know.
It looks like Kyong is gonna take a look at what Catfish and Zora have.
Yep, this is a good route. Because you can mirror from Catfish directly to Zora's domain, and he already has the flippers, so he doesn't have to worry about fake flippering or water walking.
And depending on the rest of his route, he might go to Pyramid and then to Pod. And Catfish only had a piece of hearts. It's not very useful. But you kind of want to know where he got that heart from.
I want to know where Catfish got the Quake medallion from, honestly.
People throw stuff in there. There's a sign there. People are dumb and they're just gonna do the opposite of what you're told.
I didn't see this on the first run through, but only a pack of bombs on Zora's ledge, so we're not going to see him go for that.
And unfortunately, Kyong will be scammed for his 1% return on investment.
Zora's always a scam until he isn't.
Okay, so Alistair 0579 in chat is saying that the Catfish has the Quake medallion because catfish are associated with earthquakes in Japanese mythology.
That I didn't know. That is very useful information. Or interesting, not useful.
So it looks like Trantar and Kyong are gonna sync up a little bit, depending on if Trantar goes north or south.
And it looks like he's going to make the same Skullwoods play. Meanwhile, Kyong is going to open up this item location, and then probably going to dip down and check Digging Game, and then recover the Blacksmith.
Eventually leading up to a trip into Turtle Rock. Thieves Town.
Yep, to check the first 4 items, at least.
Unless Hammer is stuck on blind, which would be pretty trolly.
That hammer on blind would be a very, very interesting play, because then you have to ask yourself, based on the items I've seen, do I dive back in for the big chest?
I question whether it's worth the risk to leave it like that when you've already completed the dungeon. Because we've seen this happen before, where that one chest could have a really good item in it.
Yeah, and if you don't dive for the big chest and it's got an item in it, that can haunt you for the rest of the seed. I've seen it happen before.
I nearly forgot that Kyong had keys because I was wondering why he wasn't picking up the key near Blind's room. But yeah, this is retro. You have tons of keys that can be used anywhere.
Yep, and that's going to be a free key for him on his way out.
Well, it looks like the green pendant is useless.
Yep, even if we have to dive into Swamp Palace or something, we know not to turn into that pendant.
Well, Trencher finding out that, well, Graveyard and King's Tomb are not going to have anything.
No, but you're not going to turn down that piece of heart in hard mode. Nor the 20 rupees in retro. And while Kyong is diving down to rescue the maiden, I want to take this opportunity to say that if you like what these runners are doing, you should definitely go ahead and follow them. They're putting on a great show for us today. Additionally, follow the Speed Gaming network of channels, Speed Gaming and the Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as ALTTP Randomizer and ALTTP Randomizer 2 through 5. We've got a lot of races today, and the group stages are going to be going on at least for the rest of the month.
You could say we're giving thanks for an early Christmas seed. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, that pun didn't really work out. Hopefully Blind's pun is a lot better than mine. Yeah, it sounded like it. So, Blind is a scripted fight. You've probably heard that enough times before because Kyong just took him down in less than a minute right there. Only getting blueberries.
Yep. If you know what you're doing, Blind will pose absolutely no problem. Because it's like Sayryu said, its movement pattern is scripted, and it will only take 9 hits to defeat it. With most any weapon that actually does damage, it's just 9 hits, and you got him down.
Do I have to ask, in hard mode, does it still take damage from the Cane of Burnout?
That is a good question. I know in hard mode, the Cane of Burnout doesn't give you an invincibility, but I'm not sure if it still damages.
Ooh, we got a hammer and digging game. That's
Whoa.
a nice find.
That's about as troll. That's even more trolly than finding it. Actually, no, it's not quite as trolly as finding it online. But now the question is, what Kyong's going to do with it?
I would hope that while he's doing the Smith's Chain, that he would take a quick dip back into Thieves Town and check that chest, because that's good when it's still fresh in his mind.
Yep. Kyong showing off one of the minor glitches that's available in JP 1.0. If you hold down the item button and the dash button at the same time, you will use the item, depending on the item, you'll use it all throughout your dash. So that works with Cane of Samaria, Hammer, a couple of others. But it's most useful using the Hammer.
It's funny to see with the cane dash through the spike rollers in TR, though.
Funny and swaggy.
Too bad you can't do it in this mode.
There's Sir Quake Medallion.
So I see our dwarves are magic smiths.
They're making bacon. We got Kyong taking the south route to deliver the purple chest to see what's in it. Probably gonna stop by K45 and Stumpy on the way. This is right here.
And Hype Cave, though I'm still not lucky that he forgot about the big chest for now.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if it bites him later.
So Vanilla, Heart Piece, and K45. Then he's gonna go up to Old Stumpy. Oh great, another kid that gave up his heart. No wonder why he's dead as well. Alright chat, get your hypes in there, because here's a Hype Cave. Though, considering what we had in the Paradox Cave, it might not be so hype.
Yep, we'll see what we got. Well, you were right, just a bunch of bombs.
Meanwhile, Trencher took down Blind very quickly. Same time as Kyong, actually. That was very good. The only thing good about that Hype Cave was that it had a blue theme to it.
Yeah, it was consistent. That's about all I can say for it.
Yes, Hype Cave blew 3 times over. Actually, 6 times over.
There are only 4 items. There are only 5 items. How can it blow 6 times over?
2 sets of 3 bombs.
Ah!
Let's see what Bombos has, and ooh, that's the other cane. Blue cane.
The other can't. Kyong making the decision not to go to Agina. That's. I guess he'll do it on the back side because he can just hop out the right side of the desert. But Desert Palace is fully clearable.
And Trenter found our swordman, old Ben.
He did.
And that was a location Kyong was just near. Oh man,
Yeah, Kyong probably thought that it was just the archery game, like it's no location, but that's gonna bite him a little bit.
Yeah, that is gonna be problematic.
Because each level of sword doubles the damage that you deal. So Trenter, from now on, Trenter is going to be dealing twice the damage that Kyong is, which is going to let him pull back, which is going to let him even it up and then pull further ahead.
I'm kind of surprised that that arrow game is part of the Take Any room pool, considering that in retro, or any mode for that matter, especially inverted, I've seen runners use that game, the archery game, to earn rupees.
I remember that one of the changelog entries was that they changed that to prevent runners from abusing the archery game for free cash in retro mode. So that's probably why they did it.
That actually makes sense. That would be an easy. It's not like the money making game in Zelda 1 where it's by random chance. Oh, Mikan's box in chat is correcting us. It was just a bug fix.
Of course. Well, it works out either way.
So it looks like item-wise, desert was dry, but Kyung's gonna go after land mode because it looks like, yeah, he has all the dungeon items.
Yep. So there's something here. With Master Sword, it's gonna not be too challenging for him. It's gonna be even easier for Trenter if he ever decides to make this play.
Well, surprisingly, and not surprising, Kyung's using the Ice Rod, which is a little slower than the Fire Rod, but it still works. But only for bombs. That kind of blew.
Unfortunate. And to clarify in chat, yes, the hammer does do tempered sword level damage, but the hitbox on the hammer is a little bit finicky, especially if you're facing up and down. So I'm not surprised to see that Kyong92 opted for Master Sword strats. The hitbox is just a lot more predictable.
Yeah,
So-
Go ahead.
Answer Fatbat82 in chat. Yes, Silver Wheels again is possible in hard mode.
It's just that in hard mode, silvers don't work on any other enemy but Ganon. So it looks like Kyung's gonna check Pyramid Fairy and then maybe a dip into Pod, while Trenter, he's probably just gonna check. He's going full dip into Swamp.
There are a bunch of items here for him, so it's not an incredibly bad play, but it is a little questionable. But we'll see if he's rewarded for it. And there is that hint tile here. And Trenter already knew that.
Thanks, game. I'm wondering if Trenter kind of forgot the green pendant hint, because maybe he thinks that there's seven items here in Swamp because of green pendant, but really it's one less.
Hard to say.
See, Kyung is checking Pyramid Fairy, and it's just the big 20. And looks like he's gonna mirror to Aiga? Oh, right, there are two chests in the Aiga Tower.
Yep, and I've seen this play reward our runners too. Mirror was in here for one scene.
Plus, there is that hint tile in Aiga Tower, which is seldom seen in a defeat Ganon mode scene. But it looks like Kyung's just checking that first chest and nothing more.
Kyung gonna make the jump into Palace of Darkness. Without that bow, he's not gonna be able to complete it, but it's possible the bow is hiding here.
I was about to say, depending on key layout, Bo could possibly be in the back, but wait, this is retro. Doesn't matter what the key layout is. And I can't even call Dark Palace my usual name for it. The dungeon with no bats but way too many keys, because it doesn't have any keys now.
Well, it could have keys. It's just not guaranteed to have as many as normal.
True, but still true, I guess, but they'll still have no bats. On Trentor's side of things, there hasn't been any items for Swamp Palace, so this might be a dud for him. And yeah, he's got a Rage Slash at that map, not liking wasting time in West Side Swamp.
Yep. And there is a hint tile somewhere that might tell you about West Side Swamp. It'll tell you about a couple of the isolated locations that you don't typically like to check if you don't have to. West Side Swamp, Firewalk and Mire, Basement of Hera, etc.
Speaking of hints, Kyong just found the Sun Cache and Ganon's Tower hint twice.
That's not useful.
And he's deciding to use the potion glitch since he had a green potion in spare.
Yep. So that's a minor application of a possibly major glitch. Drinking the potion, if you are walking specifically to the left on what's called a super tile, which is just a large room, drinking the potion will do something to the game's code that unlocks the camera. And if you unlock the camera and move such that the mimics all head off the screen, the game thinks, okay, the mimics are off the screen, I should open the door now. Because there are a couple of situations where you could potentially lock yourself if the game didn't do that. So it's just exploiting a bug and a feature in the game's code.
And while you're explaining that, Trentor found the Bombos medallion in the back of Swamp, so we don't have to worry about which medallion it is. Unless Kyong doesn't check Swamp and Bombos is required for Mire.
That is a very interesting possibility.
And Magby in chat actually makes a good point that if Fire Rod is in the Ice Palace, then they need to dip Swamp to get that Bombos.
That's absolutely correct, because you cannot complete you can't even get into Ice Palace without either Fire Rod or Bombos.
Let's see what Argus has. It's the mushroom. Oh boy, that's another troll.
Well, I mean, the green pendant's not useful, but that mushroom might be.
Do you want to do a fetch quest?
Typically no, but I don't know if we have a choice here.
Let's see. Well, it looks like Trentor's up for fetch quest because he's gonna pick up the shovel from Lake Hylia Island.
Yep, he's probably gonna do that really quickly, forgetting for a moment it looks like that he doesn't have the flute. I forget, did Trentor already check the fortune teller down there? Because he didn't check it just now.
I don't remember, to be quite honest. So far, well, Pod looked like it was not a mullet mansion, but a crew-cut castle. All business and no party, so now Kyong's gonna dip into Eastern, see if there's anything there.
Trent is finding a key, which is useful. And Taco making a good point. A good play for Trenta right now would be to head back to Kakariko and execute a glitch that we call fake powder, which is a glitch where if you use the Cane of Samaria with no magic and then immediately switch to the mushroom, it will actually let you use one shot of the powder. And it looks like Taco's right. That's exactly what he's gonna do.
And that's what I was personally hoping for, because you don't want to use that mushroom and find out, oh, it's nothing there. And then you could, if you knew about the fake powder, it's like, oh, right, I could have used this for a magic bat.
And just the fire shield today.
And the Eastern Palace hit was a dud as well. Well, these hints haven't been super useful, except for like the Sahas, the green pendant one, tell you you don't have to bother with doing it. And there's the powder on Kyong's side, you just found it in Eastern. And it looks like before Kyong is leaving that he's gonna get that big chest. Oh, I thought he was gonna get the key from the back of Eastern from the Igor, but I guess not.
Yeah, without the bow, I can understand why you wouldn't want to dive further into Eastern.
Though, to be fair, it was just one room over from the big chest, which he did save and quit from.
Yeah, true. Which is just buying the mushroom for 20 rupees this time.
I guess the mushroom wasn't really worth much.
You could say the witch didn't have mushroom in the budget.
No, he didn't. Or they didn't. And it looks like Kyung is also making the Swamp Palace play. That's interesting. But then again, he doesn't really have much else left at the moment.
Yeah, not really a lot open to our runners. Trenter has Ice House if he really wants to go there.
You know what? It looks like who was it again? Magby. It looks like that swamp play was necessary because that's the only way to get into Ice Palace, and that's like the only thing they have left. Unless there was something in the back and the big key chest in Skull Woods that Kyung didn't check earlier. Oh, right. Tin Weasel in chat is saying they could take a dip into Turtle Rock. Though, actually, yeah, they can. Even without the Fire Rod, they can still get to the back with all the keys that they have.
Yep. Without the fire rod, they're going to be missing 2 items, but they can get all the way to Trinex's room if they want to, and go find miles of disappointment on Laser Bridge. Unless Big Key is firelocked.
And it looks like while we didn't notice this, but Kyong found the Bacon Sword, Tempered Sword, somewhere.
Yep, because the sword in the sword in the Old Man Cave is accounted for in progressive logic if you pick it up, but it won't. There are 4 swords available. You can pick up 2 or 3 swords available. No, 4 swords available, and you can pick up 3. I'm intelligent.
I'm just curious which Big 20 was that Trenter found was the Bacon Sword for Kyong.
Yeah, the 4th sword spot is going to transform into a green 20 rupees. To remind everybody in chat about retro mode aims to make Link to the Past a lot closer to your Legend of Zelda 1 experience. The bow no longer consumes arrows to fire, but rather consumes rupees. 10 rupees per wooden arrow shot, 50 rupees per silver shot. You have to buy the wooden arrow item from a shop. Small keys are now generic and shuffled into the item pool. You can also buy them for 100 rupees apiece. In addition, 4 of the 9 shops have changed inventories where you can pick up the wooden arrow item and the small key. 4 of the single entrance caves and houses that don't have an item have been converted to take any caves where you can pick up either a heart container or a blue potion. And one of them is the cave where you find the old man who's got a sword for you. And Silver Wolf telling us that the sword was the second chest in the swamp, which means that the 3 swords available are going to be the 3 swords that we found are in Uncle Sewer, the Take Any Cave, and Swamp, and I forget where the last one was.
Oh, the last one was inside the Spectacle Rock Cave.
Roger, right.
Yeah, I was trying to remember which open plain sight spot it was in. Chat's having a little fun at the Take Any old man saying, "Oh, do you only have 20 rupees? Here, the teenagers go out alone. Do this, do that with the 20 rupees."
Yep. I think Link's too young to buy beer anyway.
Yeah, isn't he only like 15, 6? No, wait, maybe even younger than that in this game. I know that in the original game he was like 12, 13, like something like that. And then In the second game, he aged up like 2 years. I mean, meanwhile, Kyong found the other boomerang in the Spike Cave. Not very useful in hard mode.
Nope. But it is superior to the red boomerang since it doesn't generate as much lag.
Well, Trenter finds out that pod was not Dark Palace wasn't a treasured pod. Kyong's gonna take a dip into Turtle Rock, see if there's anything inside that half shell.
Yep. Well, Trenter trying for the ice or for the bomb jump. I don't know if he's gonna get it. It looks iffy.
Yeah, he might not have enough time for that bomb to blow to knock him to the other side.
Just barely. There we go. And he forgot the big key. Oops.
Well, then again, the big key was in Dark Maze.
Yep. So he's gonna get it, and then he's gonna turn around and go back.
And yet another useless hint on Kyong's side in TR, because it just said that there's cash in the big chest and swamp. Trenter taking a dip into Easter, and he's not gonna find anything in here, unfortunately. And so far, Turtle Rock is been empty for now. And to answer your question, chat, nothing in Mimic Cave. No Mimic Cave hint so far.
This is quite the scene. We're looking for the bow, the fire rod, and the flute. So it's going to be pretty close to 100%. And as I said that, Kyong finds the bow in the chest that normally has the big key in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that is a good find there. Now he'll probably go back to Pod and Easter and take them out. But let's see if we can find the flute and the fire rod here as well.
I'm guessing flute on Laser Bridge, just because it can. And Kyong's gonna check Mimic Cave while he's here.
Or it could be worse. They could both of them can actually be on pedestal. Now that I think about it, since they found Bombos and Swamp.
That's absolutely correct. We could have a pedestal seed.
And Mimic Cave only had 5 rupees. To answer a question in chat, this I'm not even gonna pronounce your name. Zisa. Well, it's the worst case scenario for the runners. Definitely a best case scenario for us, the viewers and commentators, and staff.
So it looks like Trander's looping around to make the Desert Palace play.
Yeah, he hasn't been there yet, so this makes sense. Too bad he's gonna find out that Desert Palace was bone dry. Well, completely dry.
And Kyong finding the fire rod and laser bridge.
Well, time to take down Chinax. Maybe the food will be in the fire rod lock spot. That'd be interesting.
Yep, he can turn around and come back in after he's done taking down Trinex.
Hopefully he doesn't forget about that, because that would be... I've seen that troll one race earlier last week.
Yeah, those are not locations you want to orphan if you can. Ooh, Kyung getting a little off pace.
Yeah, tried to go backdoor strats, but it got away from him. But he got it back on track.
Yep. That ice isn't even going to pose much of a problem because he's already on the right side. The left side, which is the correct side.
And there you go. We got a dead Trinox. But only a bloopy in his possession. Bleh.
Yep, it's blue, but it's not what we wanted. But with that bow in hand and that mirror, I think the official play from Kyong is going to be to take down Palace of Darkness and loop to Eastern after he's done checking the firewall location here.
And then probably take down Skull Woods and maybe check the pedestal if the flute isn't in one of those dungeons.
Unfortunate.
Yep, just the 300 and compass and the fire rod chest. Useful if you need more keys, which he probably might want to buy, especially before Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, he's gonna have to get a couple keys in whatever dungeon he goes to. He's only got the one left, but he definitely has enough money to buy keys if he wants them. And yeah, Weirdman in chat, Kyong does have an advantage. He does have the bow, and he has cleared out Turtle Rock, which gives him a leg up both in items and in crystal progression. Ice Palace could be a thing. We are still looking for that flute, but if it doesn't have the flute, then it's not a thing. So avoiding Turtle Rock is not really paying off for Trenta right now.
To be fair, it is a long trek, especially if you are looking for the fire rod.
Yep.
Which is pretty much the similar logic that nearly every runner has. They just don't want to go into a dungeon in rando if it without the item that they need, because they don't want to risk it's not actually vanilla. And looks like Trentor is making the Ice Palace play.
Yeah, this play, he's looking for, at this point, he's probably looking for the fire rod. He's not going to find it here. He could also find the flute.
Yeah, it's the only way this will help Trentor at all is if he finds the flute in Ice Palace. And if Kyong doesn't find the flute either here, in the back of Skull, or on the pedestal.
Yeah, he can't grab the pedestal, but we can see what's on it, and it looks like that's what we're going to see right here.
Well, get your pedestal hypes in chat, everybody. Let's see what we have, and it's just a small key. Blah.
Not nearly as hype as we were hoping.
So we either have Ice Palace, the Thieves Town Big Chest, not Trinax, Armos, or Helmasaur that have the flute.
Yep. And I suppose flute could technically be in the big chest in Thieves Town.
Wow, these hints are late, because Trentor just found the Swamp Palace West Wing hint.
Yeah, that would have been useful about 10-15 minutes ago for him. Second try.
Second try every other time?
Something like that.
Hopefully, after Kyong makes this magic bat check, getting his garbage, he'll go back to Thieves Town and check the big chest.
Yeah, I mean, there are a bunch of places the flute can be, but that would be one of the trolliest. And Kyong indeed diving back down to check that big chest.
And Trentor just found our fourth bottle in the game in east side Ice Palace.
Not going to help him all that much, but it's a good safety.
Unfortunately, it was filled with a bead torp, so not super helpful.
There we go.
There's our flute.
Oh, there's the flute. Good place for Trent, but Kyong's going to have a while to go before he loops back to find it.
Yeah. I don't know who this hurts more, Trenter or Kyung, because Trenter might was definitely gonna full clear Meyer before going to Turtle Rock. But Kyung, he's gonna do the other dungeons first before going to Ice Palace.
Yeah, because he has the ability to clear the rest of the Crystal Dungeon, save for Maya. He can do Pod and Eastern really quickly. So Trenter has a chance to pull back some of the advantage he gave up.
So Kyung is gonna just go ahead and finish up Pod and Eastern first, and then he's probably gonna dip Ice Palace afterwards.
Yeah, I mean this is the efficient route. Even if the Ice Palace play is in Kyung's mind right now, he knows he's right by Palace of Darkness and Eastern, so he's gonna do it. But the presence of the flute in Ice Palace might be pulling Trent to Meyer instead of Turtle Rock, which would put him a little behind.
Yeah, even though Meyer, like Turtle Rock, is not one of those dungeons where you can easily go mode it, depending on the item layout or the big key layout in actuality, it will take a lot of time to get all those items.
Puffball's got a little away from Trenter. But it was nothing.
Nothing for Frozen Nacho play.
Incoherent making a point that we may get a blind pet pull if Trenter doesn't go to Turtle Rock immediately.
That is a good point. He's gonna activate his flute and then he could just dash up to the pedestal.
That would be it's. I suppose it's a logical play given the knowledge that Trenter has, but it's not the correct play. Meantime, Kyung making his way through Palace of Darkness up to Helmasaur King. This is going to be an easy fight for him.
Yep, he's gonna just need, what was it, 11 to 14 hammer hits? I can't remember the number, and just like 3 or 4 swipes of the Tempered Sword.
Yep, or a couple of arrows, or one silver arrow, depending on what he wants to do.
Well, he can't use the Silver Arrow, this is hard mode.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that. And it looks like Trenter is going to make the play to the pedestal.
And it looks like Young ripped out the heart of the Helmasaur, because that's what he dropped.
I mean, Helmasaur King ain't going to be using it.
True. Well, Trenter realizing that the pedestal was not the key to his seed.
Not at all.
And yeah, he's making a beeline to Meyer. He's gonna check the shed first, probably check a board, and then head inside Meyer. And he forgot that he has all the medallions because he just checked the medal for Meyer, and turns out we have a double vanilla medal this seed.
Nice. This is a little unfortunate for Trenter, because he's gonna be trying to clear Meyer. To answer your question in chat, Dave Meister asking why it doesn't say what key he got. This is not key sanity mode. This is retro mode. Small keys are generic and can be used in any dungeon.
Small keys can be used in any dungeon, yes.
And it looks like we got an answer to that question we asked earlier in the seed. The Cane of Burnham, while it doesn't grant you invulnerability, still does hurt enemies.
And it makes sense that because of retro mode, since you have to use rupees for your arrows, it makes sense that Kyong isn't gonna waste the money on it.
He doesn't have the rupees to waste. It's like 6 arrows per Armos Knight? Or is it 3?
It's 3, so 6 almost, 18 arrows. Okay, so he does have 180 arrows, but I guess he wants to save the money for later.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, potions aren't quite as effective in hard mode, but I imagine there's still going to be a safety our runners are going to want going into the cannon later.
This is true.
Not to mention you need 200 rupees to take down Ganon with silvers.
Looks like Kyong's gonna check the Pyramid Fairy, because that just opened up after he finished Pod.
Yep. Unfortunately, the time differential for checking Pyramid Fairy isn't going to be enough time to pull ahead.
Yeah, Trenter still looks like he's very far behind. Looks like Kyong is gonna go with the bomb duplication glitch. Hopefully he gets it.
And he nailed it.
Do the Waterfall and Pyramid Fairies still give out potions or whatever in the bottle?
Yeah, they give out something. They can fill it with a potion or a bee.
Okay, so that's still in hard mode. Okay.
Yeah. Trenter looping around to Ice Ball is going to pick up his flute, and that's going to put him in go mode.
I think you mean Kyong.
Or Kyong, I'm sorry.
Kyung not even gonna bother with the hint tiles now. He knows that the flute is in here.
Yep.
So while we're at the 91-minute mark, please give a follow to our runners for putting the show for us. They're doing a great job.
Yeah, do make sure to give them a follow. Put on a wonderful show for us, putting themselves out there in front of 500 viewers. And with that flute, Kyung is officially in go mode. Electing to continue his dive in Ice Palace.
He wants that key underneath that rock that he's lifting right now.
Ah, very good point. Good point.
Yeah, that'll be one less key for him to buy to get up against Tower.
Yep, and depending on key layout in Mire, he may not have to buy keys before heading out GT.
Unfortunately, Trentor took a death to Vicious, so that's gonna set him back a little bit.
Unfortunate. But Vidrius can be a hard boss.
Especially in retro mode, where you need a lot of money to use the bow. And even especially more since Trentor doesn't even have the bow.
Yep. So he's stuck to spins and whatnot. And Trentor finding out in hard mode, powdering the anti-fairies does not give you a fairy, it just pops out a heart. And we're going to see if Kyung actually manages to get Spooky Action. Spooky Action is a minor glitch involving the use of the Fire Rod. The Fire Rod shot carries with it a little hidden variable that sets the altitude of the shot. And it will often let you use the Fire Rod to hit switches that are off screen. I'm not sure if it changes that he used the Fire Rod here, but we'll see.
That would explain why they haven't been doing the bird toss or bird smash lately. Because I believe that's a part of the glitch now.
Yeah, it's one of the ways you can set it up. Because the bird altitude sets itself for the altitude for the Fire Rod shot.
Thank you for the quantum science lesson, Tim Weasel.
Finding the big key.
Yeah, Kyong could have had a Godmire, but he kind of meta himself to go to the west side. Tranter finally getting the safety pattern to take down the Vitreous. Nicely done on his part. Only getting the 5 rupees that we know that he was going to get a night before. But he at least has his 3rd crystal.
Yep.
And it looks like Kyong couldn't pull off the spooky action glitch. He realized that he messed up the settings.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a finicky setup.
So, Claymore, now that Kyong has taken down Vitreous and has 7 crystals, isn't there a little game that we're supposed to play right now?
Yes, there is. There are 22 possible locations in Ganon's Tower where that big key can be hiding. Get your guesses in chat as to where you think it is, and if you are subscribed to one of the Speed Gaming networks or have donated a total of 250 bits across all of our channels, you can get on our leaderboard if you get the answer right.
And what is your typical guess for this game?
I typically go for 8, which in usual routing is going to be the double firebar room.
So, double firebar for classic routing, or right side first, that would be the torch, Bob's torch.
Yes, I believe that's the case.
No, I'm wrong. That's Stoffels if it was number 8 for right side. Anyway, my guess would be I'm a troll. If all the puns I've said are enough indication, I like tile room, so I picked 22.
I've seen it be in the tile room before, and the runners have made like the gamble to check tile room first, and they've been richly rewarded for it.
Oh, I remember the spring tournament. I won about 8 times because of the tile room. Number 22, guess. Time to stop the game. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, now let's start counting. We're going to be going on Kyong's count. Kyong deciding to go right side because he's got the keys.
Yep, because it's retro mode, you don't have to really look for keys in Ganon's tower. Well, technically you kind of do, but yeah.
It's not nearly as important because you can come in with as many keys as you want.
Oh, Kyong nearly got himself caught by that Ballmaster. That was pretty close.
Yeah, that would have been pretty rude. Three through 6. 3 and 4 having a rupee and a heart piece. Another rupee and a rupee. Not very useful. Heading out and going to the left side.
Yep, let's see what Bob's torch has. And it's the cape. And he's gonna skip the cape. He doesn't really need it.
Yep, and that is item location number 7.
Which means your number of 8 is up next.
And unfortunately, it's just a blue rupee today. $10 and $11 likewise being rupees.
So that's half the chest down, the other half 12 to 24 to go. Or 22 to go. Why did I say 24?
Because it's twice 22, because twice 12 and you just said half.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But just location number 12 not having anything for us today. Let's see about the second half of the second batch of the chests. 13 through 22.
Let's see what the Fire Snake room has for us.
Number
And it's the
13.
big key. 14? 14 or 13?
13.
Yeah, I was like wondering. So, our winner of the guessing game of his guess of number 13 is Durhanis84. Great job in winning that guessing game. And though it might not look like it, you've been added to our leaderboard. It's just that because we have so many so many players with 1 win, it's gonna overload the message screen.
The message buffer limit.
Yeah, that thing.
As Kyong enters the gauntlet, it's not going to pose any problem for him.
While Tranter at Laserbait is gonna eventually get into go mode after opening the safety door.
Yep. Oh, bullied by the laser shot.
I don't think, does Cannon Burner work here for invincibility? I can't remember.
Nope, Cannon Burner should not work here for invincibility.
So just Spike Cave, okay. And there we go, Tranter has finally entered go mode, while Kyong took down Land Mode 2 with a little difficulty, but not too much.
Yep, not too much. In hour 44, Tranter is now in go mode. And it's just a dive to Trinex.
Dive to Trinex, then go back down for to take down Eastern Pod and Skullwoods.
Yep.
Kyung, why is he gonna skip these chests? Since he already has everything he needs. Trantor and the final part of Trinex.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah, he made the mistake of going onto the ice. I can tell that it did ruin his movement. Otherwise, he was having a good Trinex fight before that.
And we got the trigonometry wizard today.
Okay, that's 2 for now.
Oh, Aghanim phased out just before that would hit.
Yeah, that would have hit. He got another 2 there, so we're up to 5. Just one more hit to go. And there we go. Time to face off against the big pig.
Kyung's got the rupees, he's got the health, let's do it.
And Trentar takes down the Trinex. Time for him to go back down to Pod and Eastern and Skull. Oh, Kyung is just pulling out all these high tier strats, switching from the sword swing near the wall to dash strats. And he just took down the took Ganon down to the 3rd phase very quickly.
Yeah, that was a really quick phase. It's demonstrating Kyung's dominance over this game.
Well, yeah, I believe he is an NMG runner. If anybody in chat is going to correct me, please do. But yeah, he has very good execution in this game. Though he was a little off on that Fire Rod execution. Oh, maybe he'll get a triple here. Let's see.
Oh, nope. Unfortunately, not a triple, but he did finish him down. Get your GGs in the chat for Kyung finishing up. All he has to do now is walk across that perilous bridge. And Kyong92 will finish with an official SRTV time of 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 45 seconds.
Get your GGs in chat for Kyung, please.
And we got Kyung here in the setup room. Let's phone him for an interview. Congratulations, Kyung. GG, sir.
Hey, thank you.
That was an excellent seed. And we are seeing that Trentor is going to be forfeiting the race. We do have him in the setup room. Let's pull him in as well. Congratulations, Trentor. Unfortunate.
Yeah, GG Kyung. Good,
GGs.
good race.
So how did both of you feel about this seed?
Up until Bow and Fire Rod on the Laser Bridge, it was seeming pretty alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad.
There were a few annoying things here and there. The hammer location was annoying.
That hammer location was a bit of a troll, yeah. You dive into Thieves Town, can't hit the big chest and then just hit a little bit south and it's right there and it's like, oops.
Yeah, it was like, actually, it was my fault. I thought about, hey, why don't you go to Turtle Rock? You just got Quake. You have everything. Why don't you do that? And then Hera basically gave me the flippers, and I was like, nah, something else.
Yeah, we were worried when we saw the flippers that you were going to be baited into heading to Swamp or Ice.
Well, it did. It accomplished.
Yeah, which is funny because it turns out that Swamp wasn't necessary for this seed because Fire Rod was a laser bridge, and I apologize for the phone going off in the background.
Yeah, the seed opening up both desert and swamp opening ice there wasn't pretty.
Nah, sadly not. I even pulled pedestal. I was like, okay, that's something he will probably not do immediately. So when I saw that it opened up that, I was like, okay, let's just do it. I have nothing to lose anyway.
A little bit unfortunate. The seed, almost 100% for your items over there, Kyong.
Yeah, ice was the only thing I had available left before I went in there. I was kind of running low on things, so I decided to just clean everything else in case I managed to not have to go into ice, but...
Yeah. So your next race, both your next races are actually today, aren't they?
Yeah, I have another race tonight. I have third game against Trenter tomorrow, and another race tomorrow night as well.
Have you guys decided on what to veto yet?
Yeah, the mode was already chosen, and it's another retro seat.
Yay! This time, Bo will not be my problem, hopefully.
Yeah, it's gonna be an all dungeons standard Uncle hard retro, I believe.
Yeah, it was something all dungeons related. Well, it was good practice today, apparently.
Yeah, and you've got just about the same parameter setup coming up at 6:30 against John Rossens.
Yeah, it's like my last choice I have in this tournament because that's like the last second match I have with someone, and I got like I kind of have a love-hate relationship with retro. I always got it in. I always got that from my opponents, and I was like, okay, not my favorite, and I always won. And then I'm like, okay, now pump it up, put hard retro in there because of the silvers, and then just go with it. And now, yeah, swordless. Why not?
Yeah, that's gonna change the dynamic for how you tackle different dungeons with no sword. You're gonna be using hammer a lot more.
Oh, Maya will be fun.
Oh God. Yeah, with no easy access to arrows and no sword, you're gonna be doing hammer strats, and that's just no fun for anybody.
Yeah, it's fun. I have to say it's fun. This tournament is a lot of fun, and hey, I look forward to the races versus Kyong because I know he's very good. And yeah, I was not disappointed.
Yeah, Kyung's execution was again, especially against Ganon, was just amazing to watch. It's no surprise he was seeded as high as he was.
I definitely had its ups and downs this year, but I had some really sloppy things happening here and there. Especially some miscounting in some dungeons, but
But do make sure to follow our runners. They're putting on an amazing show for you, putting themselves out there in front of all these viewers. Make sure to follow our runners. Make sure to follow the Speed Gaming Network of channels as well as the ALTTP Randomizers family of channels. We got plenty more tournament for you. The group stages are still going to be going for the rest of this month and into December. And then we'll move into the bracket stages.
Yes, currently we have on Speed Gaming 4 just an hour in Data World versus Will J. Bradley at the Speed Gaming 4. And then on Speed Gaming 3, we're gonna have Shady Forest versus Hitsuan with JexRef, Evatasia, and OzGeek as our as the staff.
Yeah, and that's starting up in just a couple minutes. You can slide over there if you want to see more hard retro. That one's an all dungeon seat too, so you're gonna see a lot more dungeons.
Do they really?
Yep. But is there anything else that you guys have to say or want to say about the seed or about the rest of the tourney?
Well, yeah, go on.
I guess just thank you guys for the commentary, stream, tracking, and see you guys tomorrow.
I can only agree on that. I thank you guys for accommodating, for tracking, for restreaming, and next time I'll get the bow and the fire rod earlier.
Oh, that's all. I think that's going to about do it for us here in the booth. Do you have any final comments, Saberyu?
Nope, nothing more. Just thank you for co-coming with me, Claymore, and thank you to our tracker, Holseti, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for being in the booth with me, Saberyu. It was a pleasure.
Thank you yourself.
That's gonna about do it for us here. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good rest of your day.
Laters all.